Hello Libra, a wonderful good morning. Long time no see. I'm very happy to be back at laying the cards for you and doing my oracle readings. Libra, I am having two different packs of cards here right now. I am using, as always, my Dark Mirror oracle cards. Very dark, very good for shadow work, fantastic results. I love the energy of those, even though they can be quite creepy, but I still love them. What can I say? I think I'm a goth at heart. Anyway, so the other deck of cards is comparatively new. It is the Wisdom of Hafiz. And those cards are really, really beautiful, and they have a very light, bright and calming, soothing energy. I love the colors, I love the pictures. You'll see more details of them in a moment. And so what I'm doing today is something slightly different. Usually I am doing the Black Mirror cards along with the Art of War oracle cards with the quotes from the ancient Chinese writer and philosopher Sun Tzu. Could one call him a philosopher? I suppose so. Haven't even thought about this, but anyway. And I'm usually having one fairy tale card. Now, I'm not going to do this today. I want to experiment. I want to do something new. So what we're going to do today is not a past, present, future kind of reading because, yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes the energies are mingling between the different times anyway, to a certain extent. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at the problem. What is the blockage? What is causing blockage and hindrance for you on your path to happiness and thriving? And what is going to be the solution? Right? Okay. Fabulous. So Libra, can I just say also, I moved place recently, so I'm actually improvising. You see, I'm actually using a cushion cover here, a black one. This is the zip. Not ashamed at all to admit it. So this is very improvised, but I really feel like doing a reading. So I wanted to get the message out, and let me see what it is. Very, very curious because I feel something wants to be said here. And that could be an indicator, of course, that for many of you, it's time to say something. You know, maybe I'm picking up on this already. You know, some of you have not spoken your mind or have held back for too long. So I want to know, what is your hindrance right now? What is blocking you? I am going to stick to these three cards because I feel this is enough already. I could do more, but I will do this at a point in time when I feel it would be necessary. But right now, I think this is enough, frankly. So, Libra, the first card is called Naked Before the Stars. Let me see if I always have problems with this. Ah, there you go, with the focus. Okay, very nice, that worked well. So what we have here, Libra, is a voluptuous, very feminine, beautiful woman in sexy black lace lingerie, beautiful flowing hair. And you see how she has the astrological signs, the stars, she has it behind her. So she is almost as if she is floating in space. And you see there is a light shining from behind her as well. It's almost as if she is a bright, radiant star herself. And Libra, what this means is that this is a card that asks us to have confidence in ourselves and also feel as happy as we possibly can with the version of us that we are right now. Okay? Libra, this is a card also that is dealing with body image issues. The whole reading, I have the feeling, has a lot to do with this right now. I can see it in the other cards already. But not just this. It is also very much about who we are at this station, this point in the journey of our life. And if maybe there is a chance that we are not quite happy with the person that we are. What could this possibly be, Libra? Could it be that, some of us are ashamed, maybe not necessarily for our body, but how we have acted in the past? Have we done anything, or maybe could have done something and we feel regret over this? And Libra, this card is an invitation to throw off the shackles and love yourself the way you are now. Show yourself naked the way you are in front of the universe, before the stars. Love yourself as the child of the universe that you are. And I think, Libra, what is really important is to see the progress you've already made. If there is anyone whom you feel you would like to talk to maybe even apologize. Sometimes it's, this is not just about bad things happening to us and other people, have wronged us. Sometimes this is very much about, maybe we have messed up. And that's okay, because we are human. And Libra, this card is about acceptance, loving yourself, and showing yourself empathy. And this is a wonderful trick it's actually from a certain school of cognitive behavioral therapy. That was founded by Professor Paul Gilbert. And it is called empathy-based or empathy-focused therapy. And I have done it. It's absolutely wonderful. There are also books that you can get about this, because the antidote to shame is empathy. And where some people in our lives did not give us the empathy that we deserved, we should have gotten, we now have the chance, and we should give that empathy to us, ourselves. Maybe it's also about showing grace and empathy to those who have wronged us, to have hurt us, to emerge out of the situation as the bigger person, but not bigger in the meaning of, we want to be victorious over the ones who've wronged us. If you're truly healing from something, you let go of all of this. There is no desire for revenge. There is no desire to be spiteful or be resentful. If there are feelings like this still, Libra, then there is a reason for that. And then allow yourself to feel them, not necessarily act on them, but feel them, and then let them go. Allow them to rise to the surface of the ocean of your subconscious, into your consciousness, and feel them. Feel the rage and the disappointment, the anger, the fury, the pain, all of that, to allow for this to flow through your whole system. Not in a bitter way, but in a way so that what you feel rightfully is not being repressed, but once you feel it, you can let it go. You wait for it to burn itself out. And that's when we all of a sudden, you can do this towards yourself as well, if you feel angry with yourself for some reason, but then you need to let it go. It needs to be a temporary thing. Those negative feelings that we're stuck with, they're a sign that there is still more healing to do. We have to raise our frequency, as people say. And Libra, let's love ourselves as the children of the stars that we are. We're already beautiful. We're already beautiful the way we are. And what I think, Libra, is if we go for a moment away from the psychological and emotional route, shall we say, let's go back to body image issues. Self-acceptance is so important, and I really think it's also important to say, of course, what we always want to do is we want to try and be healthy. And we need to have a good look at ourselves and ask ourselves, are we healthy? And then if we want to make changes, as I have recently decided for myself, not necessarily with regard to not liking my own body, but something where I felt my health needed tending to. We want to do this with love and empathy as well. Very important to switch off the inner critic while we're dealing with such stuff, right? if we've neglected ourselves, if we feel we would like to do changes so that we are healthier, that we feel more comfortable, we can still be beautiful exactly the way we are right now. But if we know deep down we're for whatever reason not healthy right now, let's not do this in a way that we're saying, oh, there's something else wrong with me, or I'm not good enough, or and you need to ask yourself, whose voice is this in your head that is so harsh with you? Is it yourself who is constantly comparing yourself with others? Is it a parent that was very critical with you? Is it an ex-partner or a current partner? And Libra, it's very easy. The answer is, the only person we want to impress is the person that we were yesterday. Yeah? Because, I thought, was it not Oscar Wilde who said, be yourself, everyone else is already taken? And I'm not quite sure, I think it was him. Sounds like him. And, self-acceptance, self-love, even if we decide to make changes. These changes that we maybe want to make about ourselves, body, mind, or soul, it doesn't matter. These changes also need to be done for the sole reason of wanting to be a happier person, because we think we deserve it. We deserve that happiness. No comparison with other people of how skinny they are or how much they have achieved or so. We know we live in a very fake world these days, even though all of this fakeness is pretty much, or most of it, on the internet. And there is a world independently from the internet, of course, right? Those of us that are a little bit older may remember, me included. But Libra, you see, you can do whatever you want, but do it with love to yourself. And don't look in the mirror and say, those are definitely 20 pounds too much or 40 pounds too much. I don't care what the number is. Say to yourself, I love my body and I would love to feel even more comfortable in it, because right now I maybe don't identify with my body. I don't feel at home the way I am right now. So if you want to make changes, by all means, but do it for health. Do it with love for yourself, even if you do it for the sake of vanity. Never forget that you are already beautiful the way you are right now. Okay? And don't hide yourself. Do something for yourself that is a little bit glamorous, that makes you feel good. No matter what this is. She's wearing this gorgeous, very sexy lingerie. Feel sexy in your body the way you are already now. Journal about it. If you're single or whatever your situation is, if you're in the situation where you can go out and flirt a little bit, do that. Get a little bit of positive feedback, but have the confidence to do this. Because if anyone maybe in the past, or perhaps present, has made you uncomfortable about yourself, or feel ugly or less than, right? Those are the feelings that you have to work with here. I feel this very, very clearly. And it's also about you as a person, I feel. Usually these cards have a complex, but usually just more or less one meaning, but there's some depth here. This is why I'm staying so long with this one. Libra, if there's anyone else who makes you feel less than, please become aware of it. If you're aware of it already, remove yourself from the situation. If you have removed yourself from the situation already and you are still having the voices in your head, you're still looking at yourself in the mirror and think, I look old, I look ugly, he or she was right. I don't know why I feel like crying right now. I'm so sorry. I guess I'm a bit sensitive today. Maybe that's also because of the energy that wants out. But I think I feel sad because it is absolutely heartbreaking. And there are people out there that are so insecure that they will try to make us feel less than so they can feel bigger. And Libra, how absolutely pathetic. One can say, of course, you know, if we're speaking of empathy already, you know, let's have empathy with them already, because as well, I was going to say, because what a sad life. What a sad thing to have to stoop to such a level that the only way they can feel better about themselves is by putting us down. But we have had our feathers ruffled strongly, and it's time to dust off our beautiful plumage and groom a little bit, yeah, and see how gorgeous and charming and sexy and radiant we are and always were. Right? This is about a shift in self-image. How do we see ourselves? So this is about pulling the veil away from our eyes, the veil that someone else has put there, to blind ourselves for our own beauty, most likely because they were intimidated by it. Right. Look how relaxed her posture is. Look how introverted she is. It's almost as if she's looking deep inside of herself. And know that you're being carried and loved by the universe the way you are. See how weightless she is, how every muscle in her body is relaxed, how flowing her posture is. That's where we want to be. What a start. Libra, I'm sorry, can I just say, I always say this in my readings, and it's time to say it now. I am not a psychic. I am not claiming to have the second sight or anything like this. I'm not going to tell you this or that will happen. But I'm reading energies. I'm reading art, and I'm feeling energies, and I'm putting two and two together. And then I don't know what it is, Libra. I promise you I'm not bullshitting you. This is how it feels to me when I'm doing this. And I cannot feel this before I start. It happens while I'm doing this. At some point, it's like a channel is opening up and I'm just getting information. It's so weird. It can come through as just feelings that I will feel something. It can come through in smells even, or in visions, in images in the mind and all that, you know. So by the way, when I'm talking of smells, I have no intention whatsoever to copy anyone. Some of you may know whom I'm talking about, the wonderful, gorgeous, incredible, very talented Green Eyes, who has this thing with smell. She will smell things, smell messages. I think this is wonderful. So this is not what I mean. I'm doing my own thing, and I admire those readers out there who I'm feeling are genuine, and but you see what I mean. So when I'm starting with this, I have absolutely no idea where this is going, and then it just snowballs. And there was so much in this card already. And now the second card. This shows me that there's so much more. I felt it with this card already, that some deep damage has been done to you, or some of you, with regard to your confidence. I feel like crying again, honestly. I'm so sorry. And this card here is confirming this for me. This card is called Artificial Heart. Even though it's very sad, I think it's really beautiful, and it's one of my favorites. This lovely woman is a robot. She has no... If you compare the cards, look at this. Whoops, okay. Look at the skin. This skin is the skin of a living human being. The skin of her is grey and pale. And so this is actually metal. Let me see if I can get this to focus a little bit more. I hope so. Let me see if that works. I think this is probably good enough. Anyway, Libra, you can see that her eyes are... It's all metallic. She's very rigid, very stiff. There is no life there. And the artificial heart stands for, you know, we have built such a layer of protection around ourselves to protect ourselves against the blows from outside, because otherwise we would not have been able to survive. So we're wearing a suit of armor, but at the same time, you see the slightly BDSM-like leather collar that she's wearing, and there's a metal chain attached to this. The chain is loose, so nobody is tugging at her anymore. Nobody is pulling her in his or her direction. So she is free already, but she needs to take off the suit of armor so that she can feel her heart beat again and feel alive again and become this. Yeah. What I find quite eerie is that you can't really see from the facial expression if she is happy or unhappy. The only thing that we see is how there are tears streaming down her face. I just absolutely adore this artwork, I have to tell you. So, if you have been in a situation, Libra, where, oh God, this is so emotional, honestly, where you have endured so much that you have put this iron cast around your heart, put yourself in a situation, Libra, where it's safe to take this off and feel alive again. But that's a major blockage here. So, blockage with regard to confidence, self-image, body image, and emotional energy. One may also say heart chakra. Not all of you may, shall I say, believe in that. I don't know. I'm not. See, I kind of like to keep things a little bit free flowing, and I'm not necessarily always going with the language that most readers seem to, you know, apply or use. Something like spirit wants to let you know, or so. I don't know what spirit wants to let you know. I say this with full respect for everyone out there, but this is literally just me and the cards, and seeing what connection I can build between me, the cards, and you guys out there. So this is more a thing, not so much with spirit, but more about you and me, you know. So it feels like sitting down for a cup of tea, a couple of friends, and talking about a really deep problem, and see how we can solve this as the good friends we are. This is how I feel about these readings. Anyway, a heart chakra, whatever, you know what I mean. The feeling, I don't know, did you ever have a moment in your life, Libra, where you felt it was safe to go through life with an open heart and without a suit of armor? And do you remember how it felt? And I have to tell you, I don't mind sharing this. I had this recently, that I remembered what it felt like when I was about 17, 18 years old. And I did not know yet what it feels like to wear a suit of armor like that. I was walking through life with an open heart and with open senses, and the world seemed to me as if it were in Technicolor. When I listened to music, I felt the music more deeply, more emotionally. I just felt so many emotions. And when enough bad things happen to us, it's not so much Technicolor anymore, is it? It's all of a sudden grey and grayscale, black and white. And this is our job, Libra, that we need to allow our soul and our heart to breathe again, and take off the suit of armor, and get in touch again with our deepest emotions. If that means that for half an hour or longer, or maybe days or weeks, I don't care, we're having a good cry because of everything that has been bottled up, then so be it. That's very healthy. But then you need to let it go. Don't cling to the cry, to the, oh my God, this is also tragic. What happened to me? What happened to them? Whatever. Let it go. Open the bottle, allow for that spirit to escape. And, you know, you can breathe again. Your heart, your soul can breathe again. very important to make sure, though, Libra, that you're placing yourself in a situation where it is safe to do this. If you're not in a situation yet where it is safe to take off your suit of armor, you may want to reconsider. It could be, though, that you doing this is exactly leading to the shift, a massive shift in energy that is needed. But that's something I can't tell you what of the two options is the right one. You need to decide for yourself. Be cautious, be wise, be safe. You know, I see it time and again that people, and by the way, men as well, can be in abusive relationships with women. I've seen this many times. Whatever situation you are in, make sure you're safe, and do not trust that person too much if they don't deserve it. And have a close look and trust your gut instinct. Sometimes when we're closing our feelings off like this, our gut feeling is inhibited, and we can't afford that if it's about our safety. I've seen this so many times. I was going to say that people were with abusive partners and knew they were with abusive partners, and they still said, well, he or she would never do that, and then something horrible, become aggressive, violent, or whatever. And it's you can't count like that. You can't. This is way too generous and way too. It just doesn't work like this, Libra. Okay, so be safe, guys. Be safe. And the last one, another card that is showing me. Oh, this is all very much in sync with each other. And this card is called the child I was meant to be. Oops. And have a look at this. The child I was meant to be. So there is much more color in this card. There is purple, which is a sign often as a sign of childhood or adolescence, when you still have to become the grown man and grown woman that we associate with certain colors. It's a mix of colors where you're still growing, you're still figuring out who you are. Excuse me, please. And so there's lots of yellow as well, brightness. And she's holding this almost alien looking plant in her hand. And this, I don't know, this card is so luminous. And this card shows me, if this is about blockage, is that you still have to tend to what is known as the inner child, because often as adults we are acting in a way that, you know, we're doing, or as we did when we were children, because we still have not healed the toxic situations and relationships, maybe with our parents, maybe our siblings, or something of the sort. So if the inner child means anything to you, this is what's happening here. You know, inner child work, as in listen to your inner child. You know, are you is it crying? Is it feeling lonely? Be there for yourself. Yeah? And develop yourself into the child that you are meant to be. So you're healing your inner child, you're becoming a healed adult is the theory, is the idea. But it also, if we move away from psychology for a moment, there's something else about this card as well, and about the child. It does not necessarily need to have anything to do with psychological theories like the inner child. It can be just that version of ourselves, or that part of ourselves that is pure and innocent. And Libra, it can be that in the process of all the things that have happened to some of you, we feel as if we've lost a little bit of our innocence here along the way, through the years, through the decades. And I want to tell you that it's no way too late to reclaim that innocence and pair it with the knowledge and wisdom and strength you have now. So everything you've been through can be It can form, it can be the cause even, or it can, how shall I put this? It's like these two different parts, who you used to be and who you are now, they can form this really wholesome and powerful symbiosis. And I was just thinking, you know, is that the yellow of her gown is kind of the yellow that's in the plant also. It's as if she and her garment and the sunshine around her are feeding the plant and want to make it grow. So the light and the purity and the innocence from the past can be reclaimed and paired with the powerful, you know, basically warrior that you have become. Maybe it's not too happy and fortunate that you had to become so strong, because the journey was a rough one. But if we can reclaim that innocent part of ourselves, nothing is lost, but we've gained something. We have this, and we have the strength that we have today. And now, of course, part of this is that we need to, Libra, we need to I feel this is going back to this card here, do a lot of work at ourselves when it comes to even accessing that strength, you know? Because if we are blocking our energies, our emotions under a suit of armor, there's so much strength and potential still hidden in many of you. And it can only come out, it can only grow if it can breathe. This is not a suit of armor. This is a flowing fabric. This is a gown. It's flexible. There's life in this card. So the suit of armor needs to go so you can make your inner strength grow and allow to grow to its full potential. Right? Okay. So, okay. Lots of the solution in a way was already in here. But I feel there are very specific ways that can help, you know, with finding the right way how to undo these blockages. So give me a moment. Libra. Okay. Wow, okay. First card. Did I promise too much? Aren't these absolutely beautiful? Libra, the card, study to know yourself. This is a card of self-reflection. This is a card to know ourselves truly, not just being self-critical, but also know our strengths and our positive sides that we have already, and that maybe we have lost sight of because of how other people treated us. So take a good look at yourself, maybe even in a real mirror. Buy something for yourself, or take out a piece of clothing that you have still from the past that you haven't worn a long time that looks really sexy on you. Literally look at yourself. But it also means study to know yourself. It means Libra, move away even further from the opinions of others, from the focus on others. Don't spend so much time on, you know, thinking about what went wrong, what is wrong with this person, what is wrong with them, you know, what was wrong with it in their childhood so that they treated me like this. No, redirect the focus on you. Yeah, there we go. This is just so beautiful. Honestly, have a look at this. Look at all the flowers and everything, the detail. And you see how the light and the sky, this is stands for the consciousness that is opening up. The introspective leads to wisdom and to a free space. So this is also about very much freeing up your brain from racing thoughts about the situation and what happened. You see how calm and peaceful this is. Introspection. Focus on yourself. Don't think so much of the other person or people involved for a while. For a good while. I'm talking months. And try to have discipline with regard to this. Easier said than done, I know. Okay. Second card. Establish priorities. Let's have a quick moment where we are looking at this card. Establish priorities. We can see a stylized full moon and lanterns. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, they're not having any candles in them, by the way, or any fire themselves. Trees and a beautiful mountain scene. So we are on top of the mountain. This card has something of the hermit from the traditional tarot about it. Again, this goes very well with this card here. Study to know yourself. This also is a card of introspection, of wisdom. The moon, if we're creating the connection with the traditional tarot and the card of the moon. Libra, what this means is discover what has been hidden. Study the situation so that you understand the mechanics of it. But then move on, let this go, because the knowledge itself is not going to heal you. It will help. It absolutely will help. But that kind of freedom that we feel when we stand on a mountaintop and feel as if we are all alone in the world, but in the most delicious, wonderful, peaceful sense that only comes from letting go. Establish what your priorities are. Is it more important to focus on what went wrong or what other people did to you? Or is it more important what you can do to heal? Because rumination is such an unhealthy thing. And it is almost as if our thoughts are being trapped within us, inside our suit of armor, because they can't breathe, they can't escape, they can't go out. So we need to take off the suit of armor so that we can act not like a robot, ruminating and going over and over the same things again, which is not achieving anything. It's our brain probably still in fight or flight, trying to figure out what happened so that we can make sure that something like this will never ever again happen to us in the future. That's all very well. But you are destabilizing yourself by shifting the focus from yourself and your center to a situation or other people. This is not healthy. So, suit of armor, breathing. See, I think I cannot believe how beautifully this is done. You have here, you can see how far you can see on these mountains. Can you see how the clouds are? The clouds are drawn. So if it means that if you can stay for yourself for a couple of days, so just that you can have a good think about everything, and peace and quiet, take a book with you, and maybe not so much smartphone, but just listening to the wind on the mountaintop, so that you can actually hear, that we don't numb ourselves with all these, visual, how shall I put this, these visual impressions. It's because overuse of internet, for instance, overstimulation, that's a way also to numb yourself. Go to the top of the mountain and just listen to the sound of the wind. And then the right thoughts, that will show you what your priorities really are. They will come. You know, you don't necessarily obviously have to go to an actual mountain. You can if you want to. If there is one where you are, that's wonderful. However, it could be anything. You can do this at night in bed. Just listen to some music or to some nature sounds or whatever you like. And take your journal and a pen and just do one page where you write what is important for me right now, what is important for me with regard to building a happier future. And it can be small things. It's very, very important, Libra, that you get back in touch with what you want, with your wishes and needs and desires. And even if it's something small, do it. Treat yourself. And this card also shows that this establishing of priorities is something you have not done yet, because the lanterns are not illuminated yet. The greater wisdom that shines through it all is out there, but you know that you have to still light the candle for yourself to see more clearly what your priorities actually are. Wonderful. Okay, last but not least, receive your blessings. And this is what this card looks like. Butterflies, flowers, a bird. This is actually, give me 1 second. This actually looks like these would be hazelnuts. I never noticed this. It could be blossoms, but I think it's supposed to be hazelnuts. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, what an uplifting card. What bright and cheerful colors. Receive your blessings means, see how nature is so beautiful, and basically it means we have everything already at our disposal, or everything is out there that we need for our healing and for our happiness. Blessings are already there. You know, we just need to go towards them. Like the bird just needs to fly onto the branch and he finds the hazelnuts there already. And it's a gorgeous day. The sky is blue and the sun is shining. You can practically hear the bird's song coming from this card. The other day I was in the town center and I was in front of a bookshop, and Libra, it was so beautiful because, you know, I saw such a big sign, an indicator of spring, and it was actually a butterfly, and it was humongous. I don't think I've ever seen such a big butterfly in real life. And so it was just, you know, floating about and fluttering, and it was so cute and pretty. And then it sat down on one of the books, and then it was, maybe because it was particularly colorful, maybe it thought it was a flower, I don't know. But that was such a magical, beautiful little springtime moment. Libra, my God, this is a weird mixture, this reading, of heavy and lightweight. And lightweight obviously is the way to go forward. Excuse me. So, oh, by the way, how lovely. Can you see this? The plant she's holding in her hands, that's the blessings, that's the growth. Right there, there's the connection. So that means the inner growth, that means the blessings come from the child that you are meant to be. Libra, is it perhaps the case that as a child you were being encouraged to do nice things, exciting things, like learning an instrument or something, which you then, for one reason or another, didn't do? Maybe it's time to pick this up again and do something artistic. Yeah. Libra, this is, despite all the bad things that have happened, clearly that led to, you know, all these things here, this is a very, very positive reading, and I'm very, very happy for you, because this is looking very, very good. Excuse me, please. Study to know yourself. Become realistic with regard to what you actually look like. Body, mind, and soul. What kind of person are you? And I promise you, it will be in so many ways much, much better than you think. Be naked before the stars. Be innocent and pure and naked and feel gorgeous and accepted by the universe the way you already are. Your priority needs to be to take off your suit of armor. First of all, put yourself in a situation where it's safe to do that, and allow for your emotions to breathe again, to feel them, for all the noise in your head that tries to problem solve, maybe a bit too much, to calm down so that you can hear nothing but the wind on top of the mountains. And allow for the light of the moon to, to comfort you, because this is the light in the darkness. There is light in the darkness, and it's huge. And it's beautiful. It is almost as if there's a connection between these two cards here. It's nighttime, it's dark, the moon is shining, and then it's the next morning and the sun is rising, and you're being woken by the first bird song, and you see how the world is full of blessings, and they're all there for you. Libra, be safe, be well, take good care of yourself, and I wish you a wonderful springtime. Lots of very, very good things are going to happen if you redirect your focus from other people towards yourself, and accumulate your past and your present good qualities, purity, innocence, and strength. All of that. Allow for your mind to become still. Read books. Switch off. Maybe even no disrespect intended, no harm intended, but maybe switch off the chatter, not only in your mind, but perhaps if you're someone who loves listening to podcasts. I love podcasts, but sometimes we need to have a bit of an eye on if it's too much chatter and we're actually starting to numb something in us by all this noise around us, right? Sometimes it's literally just about peace and quiet, so we can learn about who we really are, how beautiful we are already, what we still need, who we can be in our growth, and how beautiful the world around us is. Again, Libra, take good care and see you around soon.